Do you have kids who are finicky eaters? And what if you simply have a hectic and busy life? Staying ahead of mealtime and keeping it healthy is a challenge lots of families face. But we sat down with one of our community dietitians, Kristin Coleman, and she has a list of tips that can help.
So tip number 1, parents set the example. So when kids first start eating food, or even as they get older, our parents set the example of what we eat because that's how we know it is safe. So anybody that has kids knows you could make 2 of the same plate, give your kid their plate, they're gonna wanna eat what's on your plate. Tip number 2, consistency. So consistency just means setting that example almost daily, or making sure that these foods are given daily. You kind of just have to set the rule as a family that we are gonna eat a vegetable at dinner and we are gonna have fruit at breakfast, and making sure that we're doing that every day. Kids are really good at pushing boundaries and seeing what they can get away with, and they're a lot smarter than we give them credit for. So trying to set consistent boundaries every day so that we're not, making bad choices every day is important. Tip number 3, meal planning. So sitting down with your family and being like, what do we want to eat this week? But just planning out those meals so that 1, as the parent, you have less stress when you go home trying to figure out what you're going to have to eat and feed your family with. And 2, your kids will learn consistently that this is the kind of stuff that we eat every week. Tip number 4, get the kids involved. Kids like to have a little bit of control, right? Even as young as 2 or 3, if you can give them just a little autonomy in what they're eating, they're going to love it. So whether that means you take them to the grocery store with you, letting them pick is going to make it 10 times easier for them to want to eat those foods. Designate a non-distracted meal time, so no electronics, no devices. If we can keep those off at mealtime, it's really going to help our kids develop their sense of satiety and when they're full, and it's going to allow them to focus on the meal. Whereas if the TV's on, they're not going to be focusing on what they're eating. They're going to be focused on the TV,